Hi, I'm Lucy.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Jamie.
And today we're talking about LGBTQ safe sex.
Am I? I don't know yet.
It can feel like we hear loads about staying safe in a straight relationship, but perhaps not so much about safe sex in an LGBTQ+ relationship. Accidental pregnancies aren't the only things that we should be protecting ourselves against when having sex. Whatever your sexual or gender identity, it's really important to protect yourself against STIs or sexually transmitted infections. What kind of things should we be keeping ourselves safe from exactly?
Well, you need to be protecting yourself against all kinds of STDs. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bi, you do have a chance of getting things like chlamydia, herpes, genital warts, all that kind of stuff can happen to anyone, and you do need to take steps to protect yourself.
Going off the back of that, a lot of them don't have symptoms as well, so it's not necessarily that people are protecting themselves and then just like thinking, that's it, done. You should still be getting like regular checkups and stuff, because things like chlamydia or HPV can often come without any symptoms.
So what kind of things can people do to make sure that they're staying free from infection?
You can go to your GP, or there should be clinics, sexual health clinics near where you live, where you can go. You can get tests delivered to your house if you are embarrassed about going somewhere.
They're all super confidential as well. People shouldn't be scared about feeling like embarrassed or feeling like they're going to be shamed. Everyone does it. Like, you should go and get tested.
And everyone there is there for the same reason.
Exactly, yeah. And if you can, sometimes you can go with your partner and you can actually get tested together. I've done it a couple of times in previous long-term relationships. There's like sometimes you can get like special like gay gum clinics. So they're always really good to go in together because it's all very friendly, very open-minded. So yeah.
We've talked about how you can get checkups to check that you're free from infection. What about preventing infection in the first place when you're having sex?
Well, for people with vaginas, you can use dental dams, or you can use latex gloves and lubricant to protect yourself if you've got any cuts on your hands, or just to protect yourself if maybe you're having like a one-night stand situation and you're not going to go get tested with this person.
Yeah, so obviously you can also use condoms. They are, however, not 100% effective, so people always need to be wary of that. And that also doesn't like make you safe from contact with the skin. So obviously like around the pelvic region where the condom doesn't like make contact. So you have to be wary of things like that.
So condoms aren't only for stopping pregnancy, also to stop any risk of infection?
Yeah, so you can use them for any type of oral sex. You can also put them over your fingers if you're like stimulating someone using your hands. So yeah, there are quite a few different ways that you can use them. Everyone normally just thinks penetratively.
You can also use condoms on sex toys in between partners to reduce the risk of infection spreading that way as well. And you should be also cleaning your sex toys after you use them.
Yeah, same as if you were having penetrative sex with a penis, you should always use a condom and a new condom every time you use the sex toy.
Definitely.
Some people do have an allergy to latex, which is what most condoms are made of, but you can get latex-free condoms.
Yeah, you can also get vegan latex-free condoms, because sometimes the latex comes, like if it doesn't include latex, it's normally from an animal. So yeah, you can also get vegan condoms.
You mentioned dental dams. A lot of people don't know what they are or when they should be using them. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah, dental dams are a sheet of latex that you can put over yours or your partner's vulva before oral sex to help protect you.
You can also put them over an anus, whether that's yours or your partner's, to do exactly the same.
And if you don't have a dental dam, you can cut in half a condom and roll it out.
Sometimes you're in the heat of the moment and it can feel like the least sexy thing in the world to either, stop things to get a condom or suggest that you use protection, but it is really important. So how can you kind of get around that?
Things are only ever as weird as you make it. So if you just confidently say, I'm gonna go get a condom or I'm gonna go get a dental dam and just whip it out and use it, it can take seconds to use protection and put it on. It doesn't have to be like this whole thing. And if you are nervous about it, you can talk to your partner beforehand and say that you want to use protection.
Definitely.
When you're going to have sex.
Always have an honest conversation with your partner. Even if it is only going to be a one-time thing, it's always wise to have an honest conversation just to let you know and let them know like where you both stand on the situation.
And you can get loads of different types of condoms as well, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. You have like the standard condom, which would normally just go over the penis. You can also get It's called female condoms, but you can use those for vaginal or anal sex.
And there's like a really big false fact out there that lesbians and bisexuals are in a low risk group of catching STDs, but STDs are spread through the exchange of fluid, and that can happen with any two people of any identity under the sun.
So it's still really important to be getting regular checkups, make sure that whoever it is that you're having sex with has also been regularly checked and you know that they're free from infection.
Definitely.
What if when you or your partner gets checked, you do get some results that you're a bit worried about or not very happy about?
Having an STD does not mean the end of sex for you.
You can get some STIs which are very easily curable, but sometimes you can get ones which kind of stuck with. So things like herpes, HPV, HIV. You are able to have treatment for those, but there are no cures. So I know with HIV you can take treatment to reduce your viral load, but again, that's not the end of sex for you. Like, there's still light at the end of the tunnel, either whether that's with other people who are positive or whether you just, again, have that honest conversation with your partner and just let them know beforehand so you take the appropriate measures beforehand.
So we've talked about infections that you can get from sex, but what other things can we be doing to make sure that we're staying safe?
So you do need to make sure that you're using a lot of lubricant. That's regardless to who you're interacting with. More so for any anal sex that you're having, because the anus itself doesn't produce its own lubricant, so it's super important to prevent any tears, whether that's in like the lining of the anus or of the condom itself.
You should also be using water-based lubricant. Oil-based lubricants can break condoms, and it's also really important to use water-based lubricant on sex toys as well rather than oil-based, because oil-based lubricants can deteriorate the sex toy.
And if you're not sure, always best just to read the back of the packet.
Yeah.
Or you can speak to, your GP or a sexual health professional about it.
Yeah, definitely. They're always super friendly. You can literally ask them any question. They'll have heard it before.
Yeah.
And if you buy sex toys in store, a lot of the people who sell them to you tell you how to properly clean and use your sex toy.
So it's also really important to stay emotionally safe and healthy as well, isn't it? Even if it's just a one-night stand or you have a purely physical relationship with somebody.
Always really good to have that put in place beforehand. So again, that comes back to being honest and open with your partner, whether it is just one night or whether it is long term, because a healthy discussion is always needed. Sometimes it's easy to educate each other. The other person may not know, and you don't want to shame them for not knowing. So sometimes have a laugh with it.
If you have any reservations as well about what you are going to do, maybe it's your first time, maybe it's the first time with that person, it's always good to have a discussion and to educate each other on things that the other may not know. Never assume that the other person knows everything, because they might not, and it's not awkward, it's fine. If you're already in a situation where you're going to be sleeping with someone, you should probably be able to talk to them.
And what you said as well about being able to have a laugh.
Yeah.
It can be a bit silly, it can be a bit funny.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't know, if both of you don't know about a certain topic, it's always easy to speak to a GP or speak to a sexual health professional. Like I said before, they're going to have known, they'll know the answer, they would have heard the question before. So it's always a safe environment, and it's something that you can do together.
It might feel like all this talk of infections and doing things properly and correctly can be a bit scary or overwhelming.
Yeah.
But actually all it means is that it lays the foundation so that you know that you're safe, you don't have to worry about that, and you can just enjoy yourself and be comfortable.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. If you are worried about any of this, it might feel embarrassing or awkward, but you can talk to Childline anytime, on the phone or online. It's completely confidential and free.